Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Bloons battles on the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day as usual. So we are finishing up the last 10 minutes of the micro challenge. And something I also realized in the last episode is that I forgot to cover up the time again. I apologize once again for that, and hopefully I will remember to cover that up for this episode. I don't know why I keep forgetting it. I just need to make it like a habit when playing this game, so I kind of like do it every time. So hopefully I'll do that. But yeah, so these are the, starting in round 42, 43, so this is Oh My God territory, so the rounds do go a bit slower, which is why this video is 10 minutes, because the rounds do start taking longer. Luckily, the time, because the time in the replay actually does help me, kind of figure out where I'm at in the video, so I can calculate how long the video is rather than putting up a timer. So it is pretty helpful in that area. But I'm hopefully gonna cover it up this time if I remember. I hope I do. So that it doesn't ruin the gameplay for you guys, because I know it's a lot better for you guys if I cover up the time, because you guys won't know what it ends. Oh, and something else. I actually haven't went to school at all this week, because every day of school this week has been canceled. All 5 days. And this was actually finishing up finals for the semester, so it probably wasn't the best week for this to happen on, but I'm still glad it did happen, because I'm always glad when school gets canceled. So yeah, that's pretty cool. School tomorrow just got canceled for Friday, so once again I'm gonna be home all day. We're playing some BT battles. I'm mostly playing Ring of Elysium, but I do play some BT battles with some of you guys. Actually a lot of you guys, but actually not some BT about. Although in the past couple days it has been some, but I've been playing mainly micro challenges in the past few days. Been an absolute blast as usual. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of BFBs and Oh My Gods. Not really any Moabs. So a problem that I usually struggle with as well when playing against BFBs and Oh My Gods, mainly BFBs, is when there's a lot of Moabs under the BFBs and Oh My Gods, I use First Strike ability I use First Strike when taking out Oh My Gods, but with BFBs, I kind of struggle a little bit more with those. What I mean by that is, like, when the BFBs are here, and then the Moabs are kind of slipping through, I need to GZ to take out those Moabs. But then if I do it too much, there's a bunch of Moabs that are constantly coming, so I have to keep GZing to take out those Moabs. But at the same time, I don't want to end up, because I want to take the BFBs out with the hook on the Buccaneer, in just one shot. But sometimes if there's a constant flow of Moabs, as there is now, but this is not a more serious case, but sometimes when I'm trying to take out these Moabs, because I have to take out these Moabs or they're gonna go right through and beat me, but so I'm trying to GZ to take out those Moabs, but then I end up breaking down the BFBs to 4 more Moabs, so I can't hook it, and then I have to GZ again, which it just creates a constant flow of just knocking those BFBs down to Moabs, and it's kind of irritating to me, because then it makes it more difficult to kind of take out those Moabs. I mean, sure, you could just keep constantly GZing, but in these later rounds, the Moabs get so much stronger, so GZing them takes a good 4 or 5 times. As you can see right now, I'm constantly GZing. I just GZ'd three or 4 times and did not pop them, and a couple times before that even. So in these later rounds with BFBs, you need to try your best to suck them in, so you don't have to deal with GZing 5 times, because GZing 5 times is not an easy task for me anyway. Maybe someone that has way better micro, but for me, GZing is, I mean, it's not difficult to do, but it's not the easiest thing. I can't GZ that fast. I can GZ at a decent pace, but I wouldn't be able to GZ fast enough to pop those BFBs down to Moabs and then pop those Moabs again, because there's just too many BFBs and Moabs and stuff. So that's kind of a struggle one of the biggest struggles that I have in these later rounds. Mainly just because the mobs are so tanky. So I want to make sure I can avoid as many mobs as possible. And like, sure, oh my gods and BFBs are tanky as well. They're like really tanky, but with those you can take them out with like 5 or 6. It's I consider taking out a oh my god a lot like it's a lot easier than rather than just, this is my opinion by the way, like taking out a oh my god rather than just like a bunch of mobs under it. So yeah, that's because at the beginning of the game, mobs are the most difficult out of all the balloons to take out. But later on, it gets the mobs from what I've seen and stuff, and from what I've kind of experienced. This is an opinion, because other people might be different, but mobs start off as the most difficult, and they end off as the easiest. If that makes sense, because later on, you need to GZ them a bunch, meaning it takes a lot of time when microing. So they take up the most time at the beginning, and then wait, what am I trying to say? Wait, what I meant to say, because I just said mobs were the easiest or the hardest at the beginning and the late game. Also, those BFBs just slipped through, but I think that was lag. I don't know why it's always slower on my side. I'm always lagging. I don't know why. During the game I don't lag, but although today in the game I did, but during the game, this game I didn't. But mobs, what am I trying to say here? I think I just kind of flipped what I was trying to say. Okay, so at the beginning, mobs are the most difficult, and then at the end, okay, this is where I went wrong. I was gonna say they're most difficult at the end, and then most difficult at the beginning. But what I meant to say was, mobs are most difficult at the beginning. They're like the most difficult balloon at the beginning, and then at the end, oh my gods. I would say BFBs are the easiest to take out, but oh my gods are not the easiest, but they're kind of in the middle. Because like the way I see it is late game, it goes in terms of like difficulty. So like easiest to most difficult, and then easiest would be the lowest, and then most difficult will be the highest. So like on a scale from 1 to 10, and then 1 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest, I would say like at the end, BFBs are definitely a 1. Mainly because you don't damage them, you just pull them in with the hooks, so it's a one-shot kill every single time for the BFBs. But with oh my gods and mobs, it's not a one-shot kill every single time. I mean, unless you hook a mob, but when it gets later, you're not going to be able to hook. At least, I don't think you'd be able to micro quick enough to take out all those mobs, because later they're really, really fast. So I just don't know how you would do that, but I have seen some crazy things. So, I mean, some people, personally, I'm not good at microing that quickly to take out those mobs late game, but I've seen some people that are capable of that. So, yeah, but that's a weird way to end a sentence. Ending a sentence on yeah, that makes, but I just hit my mic as well. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. In terms of difficulty, at late game, I would say oh my gods are medium, mobs are the hardest, and then BFBs are the easiest. I hope I made like a good explanation on why I believe that. Just because BFBs are a one shot, and they're fastest late game. Like the mobs and BFBs and oh my gods are fastest late game, but they seem slower because there's so many of them that they kind of lag the game, meaning they go slower, if that makes sense. So I would still consider BFBs to be the easiest, like early game, mid game, and late game, like at all times are the easiest. I would consider oh my gods the second to easiest, and I would consider mobs the hardest, just because mobs are so fast. So you wouldn't be able to micro quick, or I don't want to say you guys, because I wouldn't be able to micro quick enough to take out the. So I'm gonna just make the scale kind of on a difficulty to how I play, because I don't want to like say how anyone plays or anything like that. But mobs would, on my scale, mobs are the most difficult late game. Oh my gods are second to most difficult, and then BFBs are the easiest. Mobs are just, they're so fast late game. They're so powerful. They're just like, I would consider oh my gods like the hardest originally, just because they're like oh my gods. But I don't know. I just don't see him that way. So we do go ahead and get taken out at round 54. We did make it to round 54 though, so that is the highest round I've ever made it to. But thank you, Lucky Logobot, for playing me. If you guys would like to play me, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get to each and every comment as soon as I possibly can. But hope you guys did enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll show you beautiful people in the next episode.